I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of BWT. I'm your host, Teddy, and today we have a special guest, fellow Yankee fan, Rocky. How we doing, brother?
How you doing, my man? Great intro, by the way. What an intro song, fire.
Thanks, dude. Thanks. That's I think his name is Lebo Anlo. He's from the Maryland area. So yeah, he does the intro for the whole network. Today we will be talking about the Yankees season as it ended about like a week and a half ago. I'm still in disbelief, and I was putting this off for a little bit to really get over what happened, but it needed to happen sooner rather than later, just to get it out of the way, because we will be covering all team seasons throughout this off season and free agency plans and all the other awards and stuff like that. If you haven't checked out our Silver Slugger Award show, make sure you check that out. That was my latest video. I had Dave and Jovan come on, and we predicted these Silver Slugger Award winners. But before we start today, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the rest of the shows on the Refuse to Lose network. We've got CTC, Carl Talking College. He goes over everything college basketball and college football related. We got RBO, Real Ballers Only. NBA show covers the entire NBA. Got Dave's Doghouse, gives you the highlights and the lowlights of the sports week. We got In the Red Corner with Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. That covers everything boxing related. No exhibition shows, so they will not be talking about that Netflix special on Friday night. We have FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, Fantasy Football Guru, tells you who to start, who to cut, who to bench, all that type of stuff. And then we have Unfazed with Joe and AJ. That is a head-to-head debate show. They go live every Tuesday night at 9 Eastern Standard Time. And then we have Kings Talk with Joe Jordan, Sacramento Kings fan, goes over everything, every game. He'll be live probably later tonight after their game against the Phoenix Suns. And then we also have, of course, you can't forget about the main show with Joe, Tomo, and Dave. It's basically our sports center of the entire network. Their schedule changed. They go live every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys are tuned in to those shows. Show us some love. If you don't know where to find it, in the bio of the show, we've got links to all the shows. Subscribe and don't miss another video. All right. Let's get into it, man. What were your expectations going into this season in spring training?
Well, I think as a Yankees fan, like, the expectations are always high. We are one of those teams that are always uniquely put in position where we're expected to win. So I believe with all the money that we spent and the talent that we had on our roster, nothing less than the championship. That's literally always the goal. That's always the drive. And that's what's expected of the Yankees.
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely getting that vibe from the team this year. Felt like everybody just really bought in to the way that Boone coached, and just the vibe that I was getting from like the Soto trade and the Verdugo changing up the locker room, and then we got Jazz Chisholm halfway through the season. So I definitely expected a World Series. Earlier in the offseason, I said we had a '09 type of offseason. And what did we do in '09? We went out and won it. Last time that the Yankees were even in the World Series 15 years ago. So that's what I predicted. And we came up short, man. It was one,
Bitter heartbreak. Bitter heartbreak.
dude, it was one of the worst things that I've watching Yankee baseball. And I know that there's a bunch of free agents that we got to take care of, but I felt like that was the team to really get us over the hump and put the Yankees back on the pedestal of Major League Baseball, dude. What would be your season grade?
Honestly, when I look at everything in its entirety, I would say B minus. Definitely B minus. They got the job done in the sense of winning the AL pennant for the first time in a while, and they really got the whole teamwork aspect that was missing for the last few seasons. Like I finally felt that we had that like captain mentality once again, and the camaraderie between the players and coaches was there, but I guess they just lost the killer instinct factor. Like we made it all the way to the World Series to crumble. It's painful for me to say, but that's exactly what they did. It was just a meltdown. It was an absolute meltdown.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. I would honestly go. It's tough. I've been debating this all day after I sent you the topics last night, and I gotta go with an A minus. Just for the simple fact of us getting to the World Series. Obviously, the way that we finished the season was not what anybody predicted, um, and the season that Judge put up and Soto, and then the surrounding group. We really couldn't figure out a leadoff hitter until like July, right? And then, but once we figured that out, everything else just started clicking, right? We finally figured out who to put in that cleanup spot when Giancarlo was gone for that little bit when he's injured, because it's just bound to happen just because of his history, right? Um, so yeah, I would have to give us an A minus for the year, and the only way I would have given them the A plus is if they actually won it and we were able to go crazy in the Bronx, because I was definitely going to go to that World Series parade if it happened. I was going to take that trip and make it happen.
That's the real disappointing part is the fact that our fans, where it was a non-factor, like they literally, the Dodgers deflated our team.
Yep.
None of the home games like actually like boosted us in the way it was supposed to. They
Yep.
didn't have the killer instinct, and Freddie Freeman just soloed us. Like it was like embarrassing. But Freddie Freeman, hats off to Freddie Freeman, hats off to the historic year that Cheo Otani had. But man, that was just tough to swallow.
Yeah, it definitely was. My boy actually went to game 3 in the Bronx, and he said that it just felt like a regular season game. It didn't feel like game 3 of the World Series, right? And that's not the type of vibe you're supposed to give your team, man.
Nope, they played it like that too. That's how the boys played it. They played it like it was just a regular beginning of season game and not the World Series. Like the energy wasn't there.
Yeah, at all, at all. Um, and that game, that was when Bueller pitched, and he was he was pitching good, right? until that last inning when we were gaining momentum, and the stupid third base coach going like this to Giancarlo Stanton while we're gaining momentum on Volpe's hit. Like, what are you doing? Anybody else? I understand it. Yeah, push the envelope. Everybody in the world that's a Yankee fan, just like me, was probably yelling at the TV, hold them, hold them, hold them. Like, why are we sending them in that situation? Like, Teoscar,
Yeah,
he.
I flipped a coffee table. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely flipped a coffee table.
Man, that was one of the worst decisions in this World Series, right? You can go to game one when Boone didn't put in Tim Hill to face Otani and Freeman. Instead, he went to Cortez, who hasn't pitched in a month, right? You got Tim Hill, who was extremely dominant throughout the second half of the season after we got him. Um, and to go with Nestor Cortez, I get it, but I don't at the same time. It's like,
With a name like Nasty Nestor, it should have been okay. It really should have been. But after a month layoff in the World Series, it's the World Series. You need to put your warm arms in there. Why? I just don't understand.
and Boone is a guy that really focuses on the numbers, right? You always hear him talking about the analytics and the nerd stats and all that crap. And if he really did his research and the team did their research, why are you walking Mookie Betts? He's 0 for 5 against Cortez in his career. Why
Yes,
are we walking Mookie Betts to get to
yes.
Freddie Freeman, who historically hits lefties very well? Like, what are you doing?
Not only that, like Mookie Betts is such a dangerous base runner. Like, why would you put him on in the first place? That is a stupid, bonehead idea. That's why, sometimes the hype with like get Boone out of there. I kind of understand why the fans are calling for Boone's head at this point.
Oh yeah, and trust me, I'm one of them. I'll tell you that right now. I've been complaining about his decisions all year. From I remember there's a Yankees Red Sox game in the Bronx, and we were down one. We had first and second, nobody out. Trent Grisham was up to bat, and I'm yelling at my TV, bunt, bunt, bunt.
Bunt.
And what does he do? Hits a line drive into a double play, deflates the inning, takes the momentum away, and we end up losing that game by 1 run. Like, it's like, what are we doing? Like,
That
mind you,
was a major takeaway from the World Series as well. Like, why did they stop playing small ball? Get on base. Stop trying to hit a home run for everything. Just get on base. It was our bread and butter all season. It was the reason why we were so dominant. How do
yep.
you forget to play that way in the championship?
I, the only way that I can think that they forget is just like having that added pressure onto them. That we were talking about backstage. Just being a New York Yankee, right? With the media and everybody, just the whole baseball world is just
we
focused
we
on.
are tough on them. We got to take some
Oh,
responsibility because we are very critical and very tough on them. The
oh yeah,
whole world is critical and tough on them.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
when we win, it's expected. When we lose, everyone gets to celebrate because we lost.
Exactly. And that was honestly one of the worst things of us losing, because I had people who didn't talk to me throughout the entire postseason, and then they just came out of their little spider holes, and they were typing me messages and doing all this crap, and it's like, dude, where were you the
Yes.
entire
I
postseason?
definitely myself had some fighting words with a few Boston Red Sox fans. I'm like, you're sitting at home watching my team lose a game, and it's bringing you
Literally,
more joy because we don't finish in last place. You do, but you want to call me and rub it in when my team is just getting annihilated by Freddie Freeman. Thank you.
literally, dude. Like, I showed up to coach after the World Series, and these two 9-year-olds are chirping me. I'm like,
Of
dude,
course.
leave me alone. Like, you don't know my pain. Like, oh man,
That's the worst part of it all is like you have to take it though because it's
yeah,
like yes we did expect them to win that series and they
yeah.
didn't.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Um, how did you feel immediately after the World Series ended?
Oh, dejected. I didn't sleep. I like couldn't sleep at all. I was just fuming. I didn't want to wreck my house, so I was just sitting outside on the porch fuming. Like, I don't know how a team could like get there and then just not play baseball. Like the energy wasn't there. They just stopped playing. Like they stopped playing when they got to the World Series. I'm like, if anything, you put your best effort and you play your hardest. But
Hmm.
they just didn't seem to do that. Even just the cuts of the dugout during the World Series, no energy, nobody like talking to each other, nobody like rooting each other on. Just they looked dejected, like they knew they'd lost before the series was over.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the same way, man. Not even gonna lie. It took me this long to even do a show about it, right?
I'm superstitious too. Like I didn't even watch like a couple of the innings just because I'm like maybe my like presence is like somehow like weighing on this game. So like I was very superstitious. I was like I'm only gonna watch the odd innings. Then I'm only gonna watch the even innings. I'm like nope, didn't work. Didn't work this time.
Yeah, man. It was especially Game Five, dude. Like we
We had a 5-0 lead, a 5-0 lead.
with two
Garrett Cole's pitching lights out, and
with
then one like bumbled catch just ruined an entire 5-0 lead in one inning. In one inning, we watched 5-0 disintegrate. I knew at the end of that inning it was over. Like I just felt it. Like I already knew. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if like Juan Soto's got another comeback in him. I don't know if this just deflated the whole confidence of the squad. Like I didn't think they could do it.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely deflated the confidence. And then, like, I remember there was an in-game interview with Dave Roberts and the reporter. I forget who it was. It might have been Olney. He was doing an interview and he was like, "Oh, what's your take on approaching this 5-0 lead?" He was like, "Oh, we're just gonna go hit by hit, inning by inning, on by on." And I'm just like, "Dude, you're gonna lose. Like, what are you talking about? We're going back to LA." Like, I was confident, man. Like, and Cole just was extremely dominant. The two games that he pitched in the World Series, we should have won, and those were the two games where I thought that the team just let him down. Like,
They
they
let him down immensely. He had Mo Rivera aura, and he was pitching
yeah.
lights out. He looked like Iceman up there on that mound, and they just like they lost it for him.
Yeah,
I don't blame Garrett Cole at all. He's been really shaky over the years, but like that series, he pitched his ass off. He did.
yeah, yeah,
He did.
yeah. It was crazy. He balled out, man.
He did.
But I mean, you got to cover first base. You got to cover first base on that ball. I
Well,
know
you know what?
it
The
happened
laziness
earlier.
of Rizzo.
It happened earlier in the game in the first inning where the Mookie Betts up to bat. It was hit the same way, 2 outs. Everything was the same, and Rizzo covered. He got to the bag in time to get the third out and get out of the inning. But I mean, like, oh, it
It's
was
the
just,
World Series, Riz. It's the World Series. Why didn't you like sprint to that bag?
yeah,
Yes, it's Garrett Cole's fault as well, but I'm like, you fielded the ball. You're
mhm,
like 3 steps from the bag.
literally,
Dive for it at least. Act like you're in the World Series at least.
literally, bro, literally, and man. I mean, shout out to Rizzo for playing with like two broken fingers, right? He went out there and laid it on the line for the squad, but he definitely did not perform the way that Anthony Rizzo performs.
Then
Um,
the awful flip to Chisholm at third. Like, what
bro,
an awful flip. Like, you know, that is like a do or die play. Like, why would you flip it like that? Why wouldn't you plant your foot and make sure it got to his glove?
yeah, that's my guy Volpe, man.
Yep.
Uh, it's just it's bringing back some bad memories, dude. And then Aaron Judge, dude, we can't talk about the fifth inning without talking about Aaron Judge. That's
I
been
mean, we're depressed. I can only imagine how depressed
oh,
Aaron Judge is because all he has to do is catch that ball. We get out of that inning and we do go back to LA.
mm-hmm.
We don't know what would have happened. They could have just killed us in game 6, but at least there would have been a game 6. We
Yeah.
get out of that inning, we're going to game 6. We're back in LA.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. I feel like it should have been Yankees up 3-2 going back to LA for game 6 and a chance to close it out in LA, just like I predicted. Before the series even started, we got a couple comments from my boy Joe. He says, "Still stings steady, 100%, Joe, 100%. This is like if the Washington Commanders this year, he's a Commanders fan. So if Jaden Daniels just throws a game losing pick on a game winning drive in the playoffs, right, or something like that, or if he fumbles or something like that, is painful, man. The only error that Aaron Judge had all year was that one play, and I know as a baseball player, like you keep playing that in your brain, man. And I know that Aaron Judge is thinking about it heavy. Yeah. We can't believe he didn't catch that 1,000%, man.
Yeah, our last couple of championship series when we were playing with Jovan and all those boys, that and Matty P and Nick P, like that still burns in my mind because I'm like, we got all the way there. We played good enough baseball. We just got cheated. So like
Yeah.
that burns a little less than like knowing you blew it yourselves. But
Mm-hmm.
even losing a championship just burns. Like you don't really get over it. It lives rent free in your head.
Yep. Yeah, dude. It's so I already know, like, being on the biggest stage, being the captain, and just he literally took his eyes off the ball. Like, I
Just a
don't.
complete routine play. I don't know if it was nerves. I don't know what it was, but just
He
like a
literally
routine play. He never misses those either. Like he absolutely never misses catches that easy. It
never.
was just like such a freak thing. Like the universe wanted the Dodgers to win because like he doesn't miss those. It just didn't make sense. Even
That,
the way it hit off his glove doesn't make sense. Like he makes those catches blindfolded. That
yeah.
one catch right there, such a routine play.
Mm-hmm.
Just it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. That was like a Bill Buckner play right there. That was a Buckner.
Yeah. The only way I can explain it is Fernando Valenzuela was up in heaven just messing around with the ball like angels in the outfield type
That
thing.
was Angels in the outfield. I agree. I agree. The
Like,
infield too, apparently.
oh my goodness. Just that one inning was just ridiculous. I just remember that scene in Angels in the Outfield when the ball just kept going like going like crazy. Um, ah, man. Um, yeah, yep. His only error all year, man. Only error, and it was the most
When it
cost.
counts. When
Yeah,
it counts. The worst error in baseball.
he could have had one error in March 20th, and nobody would have remembered it. But it was Game 5 of the World Series,
Of the World Series.
and now everybody is making jokes. And
Well, dare I say it, bro? Ever since we let them do that to us in 2004, the
yeah,
team's been struggling. You
oh,
can't ignore that. Like ever since that 2004
yeah,
series, we've been struggling.
yep, yep, yeah. It's
They even put it on Netflix, so like it was even more taunting. I'm scrolling through Netflix and I see it there, and I'm like, really?
oh,
They
dude,
literally made a whole documentary about this. Damn.
oh man, that was honestly the worst part. It's like they made a whole stink about it being 20 years and blah 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 and this and that. It's like, dude, get over it. Like, the one thing that these Red Sox fans always say, oh, you can't talk about the past. You can't talk about the past. But that's all they were talking about.
That's all they ever do. Number
All
one. And number two, it's just like nobody cares if you win.
Yeah.
It's all Yankees, bro. It's the most popular team in the world. Like everybody, everything we do is under a microscope. You
Yep.
guys could finish in last place. You could even win a championship. And you know what they chant? Even when they win, they chant F us. That's
Yeah.
what they do. They're
Dude,
always thinking about us. Everyone's thinking about us. So it's like, even
yeah.
when they win, they don't feel like they've won because they're not us.
hmm Yeah, dude. I remember when they were playing the Mets earlier in the year. It was the Red Sox Mets, and everybody started cheering Yankees suck. It's like, dude, what? Like we're not even
We're
playing.
not even a factor. We just play across town.
Like what? Like I know where you guys are the little stepbrothers of the Yankees, but like chill out. Um
Not
uh,
only that, nostalgia kind of wanted me to see another Subway Series because the Mets were right there. If
oh,
they were able to get the job done, it
yeah,
would have been great in nostalgia to see another Subway Series.
100%, dude. We got Jovan checking in. Rocky. Yep.
Oh yes, there he is. Pitch the pitcher. That guy,
Yep.
that tall guy that was just the hurler, as they call him. Oh yeah, shout to your little brother, bro. I was like really happy to see he's doing well and he signed his letter of intent.
Yep, yep. Yeah, that was today, dude. Just shout out to Jordan, man. Yeah, Subway Series would have been lit 100%. 100%. The Mets actually are meeting with Soto uh, this week, and they brought out Lindor to go talk with him. But now that we like transition into that, what are your expected off-season moves for the Yankees?
We 100% need a closer, like Mo Rivera style closer. Like we haven't had a definitive closer in a while. We
Mhm.
thought it was Chapman, but he wasn't really up to the task. We really need like a definitive closer. And we also need to like stop getting these old guys. Like we need some like young, fresh arms that can throw that thing, like Joe Vaughn, like
Yeah,
Nicky P, like Manny P. Like we need some of those like clutch arms. We haven't had clutch arms in a while either. We've had big names, but like towards the mid to end of their career. Like we need like young hot shots that could throw that thing.
yeah.
I don't care if you get Tommy John, just win me a championship, please. Like it's been 15 years. Like, can we get somebody to throw that thing and win us a championship? It's really pitching. Like we have bats. Like we've always had bats. We just need like the arms.
Yeah,
And other teams have been able to do it. The Giants have been able to do it. The Dodgers have been able to do it. Like people know that going after arms is more important than bats because like everyone knows the New York Yankees are the Bronx Bombers. Like we can hit that thing. We always have been. We just need the solid arms to finish the job.
yeah, yeah. We locked up Luke Weaver, so that'll be he pitched lights out towards the end of
Yes,
the year.
Luke Weaver's great, but that's one dude. We
Yeah,
like I remember where we had like it didn't matter who pitched at one point. It didn't
yeah,
matter. It was always going to be a good game. It was
dude,
always going to be at least like a 9 strikeout game.
dude. The years of Andrew Miller, Batansis, and then Chapman. Oh my goodness! I wish we can
Yes.
that, dude. Starters only had to go 6 innings because we knew that it was locked up after that. Like, good luck hitting
The
those.
pitch counts were so low they could have went 7 innings.
Yeah,
It was
literally.
like 60 pitches, 70 pitches.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, man. I've been seeing that they they're in talks with Carlos Estevez from the Phillies. So that'll help out. He's a lefty. Tim Hill might resign. I know Clay Holmes is a free agent. Uh, Rizzo's a free agent. Torres is a free agent. Soto is a free agent. Um,
That's what hurts about this because it was really like a do or die season. It was like all or bust, and they got there and they just couldn't do the job. Like they couldn't finish the job. That's what really hurts is that even if we give Soto like 700 million, like who else are we gonna retain? Because like half the team's gone. I'm not even sure Chisholm's coming back. So I'm like,
no,
like we,
Chisholm's got one more year left.
yeah.
Chisholm is coming back. Oh yeah, Verdugo is a free agent too. Yep. But I think Verdugo. We're gonna let Verdugo walk. The Martian is gonna be out in left field. And then we got Spencer Jones coming up in the system as well. So I'm not worried about that.
The good news is everyone wants to be a New York Yankee, so like we should be able to build like quite a great formidable team. I just hope they go back because that would at least like
Mhm.
boost like the status of our team once again if we could make it back to back years and finish the job this time. Like we definitely need that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I saw.
And of course, Judge has a big chip on his shoulder, so I know that like coming into this next season, he's going to be playing lights out. Like I'm pretty sure that like 65 homers he hit previously, nothing. Like he's definitely going for broke this next season.
Yeah, yeah. I saw we're interested in Yohan Moncada and who's the other third baseman that's on the market? Alec Boehm from the Phillies. Uh, so if we can get one of those guys and then move Jazz over to second base, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. I want Spencer Jones to learn how to play first base. Spencer Jones, 6'7", freak athlete. Learn how to play first base.
We all seen Moneyball. Come on, pull a Hatterberg, learn first base. Let's do it.
Literally, dude.
Yeah.
Come to New York. The
I mean,
ball.
at 6'7", like he's just going to be catching line drives. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
it's ridiculous. And then we got that kid Duran in the minors. He's a second baseman. He just stole 25 bags in the Arizona Fall League. And Boone said that he might have a part in next year as well. So I'm interested to see what that looks like next year. But like I said before, Soto needs a blank check.
He does. He definitely
Soto,
does. There's multiple teams out there that are willing to hand him that blank check because he's worth it. Like he definitely earned it. He earned his stripes. He's worth it.
yep, yeah, and he came into New York his first year, career year, 41 home runs, 285 average with 103,
And
105.
and just being like the heart and soul of the team. Like he was clutch when nobody was hitting. Like you could always count on Juan Soto for that hit that you need. Like
Dude,
when
literally.
when Giancarlo was cold, when Judge was cold, like Juan Soto was the guy that stepped up and made it happen.
Literally, and just his energy, like you said, the soul of the team. Like I know we don't really get that inside look in the clubhouse and stuff like that, but I am pretty sure that Soto was a big factor on like the team chemistry throughout the season. Just the way that he looked after he would hit his home runs, and that Cleveland home run game 4 was just like that at bat was one of the most ridiculous at bats that I've seen. In
Just to walk it off like that in God mode with the epic bat flip, I was like, you know
literally,
what?
dude.
That bat flip, I was like, that's a Teddy bat flip if I've ever seen one. Just looking the pitcher right in his eyes, hitting it, taking a couple of steps and flipping it. Like I was like, yep, there it is.
Yeah, dude. Jovan says, "You guys have a lot of money tied up. Can you give him a blank check?" Like I tell you all the time, Jovan, there is no money tied up in baseball. Damn. If we were talking about any other sport, you would have a point. But baseball, man, there's money everywhere. Steinbrenner family, they got money, bro. I'm telling you, they got money. They probably got so much money. George still got money. You know what I'm saying?
They probably wouldn't I mean shit, Jacoby Ellsbury still got money off of the Steinbrenner. So I'm just like
Dude,
I'm like, yes, they definitely have money to burn.
absolutely insane, bro. Absolutely insane. Yeah, Yankees got money, man. They'll be all right with handing.
That's why we're labeled the evil empire. We can afford anybody. We really can afford anybody.
Exactly. Hashtag Teddy Batflip. Yep. And why won't y'all just give him what he wants? right now we're playing the game. We're playing the game, right? He's got meetings with the Mets, Red Sox, Dodgers are gonna go meet with him, and then the Yankees in 2 weeks, right? I saw a video last night, and it was a former agent, and he said that you meet with Cohen because he's gonna give you all he wants. Like he's gonna do that, and then the Yankees are gonna come back and maybe lowball just a little bit. He's already experienced New York. He's earned his stripes with the Yankees. He knows the people that are in the building. He knows the teammates. He knows that he's gonna hit before Aaron Judge. Like there's no other team that you're gonna go to where you have a hitter like Aaron Judge batting behind you. No other team.
It's also probability. It's like Juan
Yeah.
Soto to me seems like a player that is hungry for a championship, and now that he's like tasted his first World Series, like I'm sure he's hungry for another opportunity to finally win that ring. Like,
Yeah, it's his second. He won one with the Nationals. It's his first World Series loss.
yeah,
And the way that he was sitting, he was the last guy to leave the dugout. He was sitting with his helmet and batting gloves still on.
hmm
I don't think that's a guy that wants to leave New York.
yeah. I don't think he wants to. Yeah,
He wants to give the Yankee fans what we've been asking for a long time. And I feel like he wants to be that guy. And I feel like he's gonna resign with the Yankees, man.
yeah.
I'm really
I'm not worried about that. He's definitely going to shop around because he knows that'll give him like a lot of room to like demand what he wants.
of
But
course.
of course, everyone wants him now. He's like the prom queen. Everybody wants that guy right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jovan says if he gets lowballed at all by the Yankees, he's not going there. He might get lowballed like 50 mil. I'm not talking like crazy amount. Like it'll be anywhere between like 25 to 50 mil that he's getting lowballed. But
I mean, I kind of agree with Jovan though because he's actually proven himself to be that guy. So like
yeah,
they can't afford to play games with Juan Soto. Like they definitely shouldn't. I wouldn't play games with Juan Soto.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. But I'm just the way that the Steinbrenner, these guys have been playing it throughout these years. Like they
But
gave.
yeah, to have like a lineup with like the top three hitters in baseball in the same lineup, like you don't want to like blow that opportunity either. Like knowing that Judge goes after you, like that's you know that you're guaranteed runs. Like that's like a guaranteed run offense. So
Mhm.
like you wouldn't want to mess that up for yourself.
Exactly, man. Um, Tomo says, "Come back home, Juan." Hashtag Nats. He's a Nationals fan, man. He's not going back there, dude. I'm sorry. He wants another
Can
championship.
the Nationals afford him? That's the question. Can they afford him?
Probably, they probably can, and that would actually be hilarious. Seeing what the Padres gave up for Soto, and then he goes back to Washington. That would actually be hilarious. Um, that team's actually pretty good, but I don't think they're championship worthy right now, and he wants to win right now. So I think that's the biggest factor. That's the biggest factor of the his decision. Yeah, I know, but a guy can hope. Yeah, yeah. Just keep on hoping for Cooper Flag. All right, just keep hoping because that's probably the only good thing that you'll have in Washington for quite some time. Um, but yeah, man. That's all we got for you guys today. Rocky, you got any last words for the people before we head out?
It's your birthday and you can cry if you want to, because I do.
Oh man, it was great having you on, man. We'll definitely be in touch to get you on for other shows. I know you and Jovan would probably be a good pairing on this show, and there's a couple other Red Sox fans in the chat. So I'll definitely keep you in mind when I am planning stuff out. But again, man, I appreciate you for coming on tonight. Make sure that you are liking this video, share it with any baseball fans that you may know, Yankee fans, Red Sox fans, Dodgers, Cubs, White Sox, Tigers, everybody. Make sure you share it with this. Make sure you share this video, man. And don't forget to subscribe to the network. Appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight. We will be back another day with the award predictions, MVP, Cy Young, all that stuff. Make sure you tune in. Peace.
Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.